Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video and welcome to round 9 of season 2 of our NASCAR 25 career mode. Yes, we return this weekend here to Kansas Speedway for the Healthcare 200. Of course, if you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Texas, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. We had a really good fun race, which is quite impressive considering it was Texas, and normally that place is terrible in any kind of NASCAR series. But it did come down to fuel mileage. It was a very exciting one. But for us, it was a very good one because we took our 4th victory of the campaign so far. It is basically still just myself and Corey Heim trading wins so far this campaign. Of course, still Jack Wood in the playoffs, despite the fact that was his only top 10 of the entire season so far. In fact, he's only ever had one top 20 in this campaign. I mean, we're leading the championship at the moment by virtue of more wins. My average start, though, is a lot worse than Corey Heim's. My average finish is a bit worse than Corey Heim's, and he's led twice as many laps as myself so far this season. But I do believe we have led the 2nd most laps, though. So I think we're kind of showing pace, we're showing potential so far this season as well, of course, as we head towards Kansas. Now, we've got a few bits and pieces, of course, some admin as always to do inside the game. We've got a bunch of fans have been asking if we'd organise a shop tour for them. We finally found a day that we would work and start sharing it on social media, only to find out the crew was planning on picking up some new equipment that day. Pretty much the rule of thumb inside this game apparently is if there is an opportunity to gain work points, you take it. So that is exactly what we are going to do as well. We're basically getting our rep up towards Xfinity anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. We've also got a new sponsor offer then, so this is coming through from Carrera, and I'm hoping, there we go, so we'll get an extra $4,000 if we achieve top 12s as well. I have upped the AI once again now inside this series. We are up to 104, I believe, inside the game. So we're making good progress with that as well. We've got a bit more work that we need to do, but I'm trying to save as much cash money as we possibly can inside the game right now. So we're just going to keep trying to sort out all of these parts that we possibly can. But obviously, we need to make sure that we have still got a competitive truck. So I think we're going to use up a lot of work points as we head towards next weekend as well. I mean, that is pretty much all of the work points we have got, but at least we have basically got 2 perfect trucks still inside the game. Of course, if you're new around here and you are enjoying this series, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed to the channel as well. We are getting very close to 2.5k subs at the moment. But yeah, without further ado though, let's head out to Kansas Speedway.
We welcome you to Kansas Speedway. Get ready to feel the thunder of NASCAR as engines roar to life and the best drivers in the world battle it out in this fast and fierce 1.5 miles per hour.
Well, with the AI increase then for this week's episode, I think it's going to make life a little bit more difficult for us, as is obvious, but it's also going to mean that there's going to be even more emphasis on trying to make sure that we have got a truck that is competitive each and every week. Of course, the ultimate goal would, get up to that 110 AI, get quite good at the game. I feel like I am making steady progress. I just still seem to slap the wall from time to time as well. But Kansas then, of course, back to an intermediate 1.5 mile speedway here, but in qualifying trim, this should be entirely flat out. So making sure then that we give ourselves the fastest run towards the start-finish line there, almost 175. By the time we get down in towards that first corner, rotate this truck in at the 1 marker and then try and get it right down to the apron as best as you can. Don't be afraid of it drifting up the road though through the exit of turn 1 and turn 2. So of course, yeah, the wall on the outside there. It is kind of cambered a bit more aggressively up towards the top of the circuit as well. So it kind of will drag you away from the wall, unlike 1 and 2 at Texas last week. And it was really obviously kind of understeering out there. But on the run back to the line then, P18. Not ideal, actually, that. We definitely should have done a bit better here. And again, clearly that AI making quite the difference. But once again, Corey Heim on the pole. Kyle Busch there just ahead of Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs. With Larson, Majeski, Ankrum, Enfinger, Hemrick and Honeycutt all inside your top 10. I know we've complained about it before in this game, but I really wish there was a bit more kind of change week in, week out.
Get on your feet. It's time to go NASCAR Truck Series racing as we go trackside with the most famous words in all of motorsports. Drivers, start your engine!
Well, ready then for our 67-lap feature here tonight from Kansas Speedway. Looking forward to this one. Friday night stock car racing. Nothing beats it there as Green Flag Racing here from Kansas then, immediately alongside Matt Craftham, but not any longer by the time we get down in towards turn one. I feel like my race pace normally seems to be a bit better than my qualifying pace inside this game, as Tanner Gray there will also immediately try and slot through, but I mean, we're going to be approaching speeds of 200 miles an hour around here still, or at least got like 185, I reckon, when you get a big run there, as Heim, immediately trying just to control the pace up at the front of the order. He has been able to do that on multiple occasions so far this year. 3 wide though already by the time we get to the end of lap 1 there, and everybody trying to cut below the apron as well. Back down towards the start-finish line there, as, I mean, are they 4 wide up in front? They've got to be close there as well. Craftham immediately gives me a big old squeeze by the time we get down in towards turn 1 and turn 2. But 15, 15, and then I believe 37 is going to be the stage lengths today. I don't know if it's always the case, but I think stage 1 and stage 2 are usually the same length inside this game. A massive thank you to all of you guys, obviously still in the comments of these videos, helping me out, giving me all the knowledge that I so desperately need inside this game. As maybe the knowledge there should have been don't go 3 wide with Matt Crafton down in towards turn 1. But we have made it work there. Raja Karuth, Parker Kligerman just in front of us as well, as we try and make our way out of these first couple of corners then. But yeah, I don't think, apart from stage 3, I can't imagine we're going to have to deal with too much lap traffic here, because most trucks are going to be not quite, you know, wide open all the way around the venue, unless obviously you're a Corey Heim right at the very front with some clear air. But you are going to be close to that throughout most of this event there as well. Apparently we just seem to be able to constantly go for double overtakes down in towards 1 and 2. There was Kligerman just trying to slot back in beneath us. Caden Honeycutt there in the 45 truck. He's had a fairly quiet campaign, obviously floating in and around that top 10 for playoff, for the round of 10 playoffs. But of course, I still feel like, unless you start getting some different winners here, Jack Wood, I'm sure, is probably hoping that Heim and I keep winning every week. Because he knows if we do end up with winners this season, not repeat winners, he will most likely be the first to go. It's going to be a Talladega's. I don't know if there's a July Daytona race or later on in the season a cut-off race out of Daytona as well. But that'll surely be where, Jack Wood even really begins to struggle there, as seems to be a gap opening up just ahead of Grant Enfinger. So let's see if we can try and get a run around Jake Garcia there, as he wants to try and just slot back up for that slipstream as well. There's a 13 truck there, maybe getting a run on the number 9. But already making pretty good progress then through stage 1. And again, it is obviously a learning experience. I don't believe, this place isn't going to be as bad for tyre wear as well as Texas was last weekend. But if we can get a good run then on Enfinger here, we've made pretty good progress up inside your top 10. That obviously means some championship playoff points as well. And that is all that we can really ask for at this stage there. Washing up the racetrack. I'm sure Enfinger probably not appreciating that. But we should get the move done. 5 to go then of stage 1, and well, it's been a fairly uneventful stage 1 so far. Definitely, obviously, with the increased AI, you can just see how much... I don't even think they're much quicker as such. They're just a bit more consistent around the lap. I think the big problem, of course, is still that we're not that great in qualifying, but we always seem to be able to try and fight our way back through the pack then, through the races. So normally stage 1 is about just trying to get us back towards where sensibly we should be. Stage 2, I think, is normally then everybody's trying to hang on to their tyres as best as they can. There's maybe Ben Rhodes there, just opting to take life a little bit more easy through this first stage. Should be able to get past him. Yep, I think we are clear there towards the end of stage 1. But yeah, Hemrick a bit too far ahead. White flag then in the air for stage 1, and maybe this is a bit of the calm before the storm over the course of this weekend. Corey Heim making his way down in 3 and 4 is only just got to the back of the pack there, but I don't know if he's actually lapped anybody just yet. Of course, if he only laps 1, they'll get a free pass anyway at the end of this first stage there as well. Just nicking the apron for the first time tonight. Heim, though, will take victory in stage 1. I believe that was just ahead of Kyle Busch there and a few other drivers as well. But we bagged 2 points for ourselves. Happy with that there, just ahead of Ben Rhodes. We definitely need some fuel, though, apparently. We've only got 7 laps worth. So we're going to take... how much fuel do we need to take? We can take 1 can then. Don't think I want to take tyres, though. We want track position here, and tyre wear isn't much of an issue. So there we go then. Stage 1 all done and dusted. It looks like, yeah, fuel is going to be the bigger concern here rather than tyre wear, as we are up to top spot then, ready for the restart. So everybody else then opting to take either more tyres, or tyres, and maybe some more fuel, as apparently I'm getting put below the apron ready for the restart there. Anyway, green flag racing once again then, as Corey Heim, I'm sure, will want to try and dispose of me as quickly as he possibly can. But stage 2 then is going to be a lot more tricky to try and manage things. Here is tyre wear actually a bit worse than I thought it was going to be. So really going to have to try and manage this towards the end of the stint. There's a look at that already. How much of a run? The likes of Larson, Chandler Smith, and even Ty Majeski able to get a run around our outside. There's Kyle Busch there, I'm sure, not too happy. I believe that was, yeah, us holding him up through turn 1 and turn 2 there. As, I mean, we are getting jumped by everybody at the moment. That has got to be a terrible restart lap all the way down to P7 there, as Lane Riggs will also make it happen by the time we get in towards turn 1. But this was definitely a mistake. You can see everybody else there able to get their truck back in the groove, and we just do not have the grip there. And I mean, we're already back down to where we started then, so this was not a good choice. And after so many races inside this game where we opt to take tyres and gain out massively from it, the tables have turned, and we are now losing it massively because of it. As you can see there, Caden Honeycutt, we're getting a big push. I think that was from Heinrich even just behind. Hendrick certainly isn't in this race. I mean, his cars are, but Rick Hendrick, I don't think. Oh, he's ever going to be in a NASCAR race. Oh, it goes from bad to worse. As we get put in the wall, we've been completely turned. Can we hold on to it down the back stretch? How has this not been a caution? As we will try and get back up on the road, but I'm sure that's major damage as well. Yes, it is. And suddenly, I mean, we're still loose through 3 and 4. We might still wreck out there as we try and hang on to it. We're still getting barged around as Perez Delara there. I don't know who's turning me on the inside there. That looks to be Sutton, who was still on my inside there. We're still basically wrecking. I've basically been wrecking for an entire lap as we've got another truck down on my inside there. And well, stage 2 was an absolute disaster. We have dropped right to the rear of the field, and all in the space of about 4 laps here. Even Tony Breidinger might be able to get a run on us. She's going to try and give me a bit of a push down the backstretch. But how on earth did we hang on to that? We basically spent a lap wrecking in this race, but somehow we lived to fight another day. And well, all this is going to be now is, of course, we've got a lot of work to do towards the end there. It's just squeezing Breidinger back up towards the wall. But yeah, we've definitely still got speed over a lot of these trucks right towards the back of the pack, though. But of course, they have just got more, you know, better tyres than us. So yeah, this has not worked out. This has been a bad gamble this early stage of the night. But again, we're learning. We're already locked into the playoffs. We can afford to take this time to learn. And that is really, really crucial still. I'd be intrigued to know then on older tyres how far we can move our way back up the order. Maybe we can look towards the top 20. There's Jack Wood there, of course. I mean, is he just pootling around for the sake of it? He doesn't need to risk anything at this stage of the campaign. I mean, especially with the way Heim and I have dominated so far. I guess Jack Wood pretty... I mean, winning your in is obviously a good... It's not a good system, but it's a good system for Jack Wood at the moment. But of course, if only 2 other drivers can win, you're guaranteed to be in. Are we going to be able to get the move around his outside? Yeah, surely we'll carry the speed off of the turn. Let's just get to the end of stage 2, and we'll worry about fuel and tyres. Oh, no. Yep, there you go. We've wrecked. We've absolutely wrecked out. Just gone on the apron. Is that going to be a caution? Yes, it is, and these tyres are completely gone. As you can see, they're down to 41%. We don't need fuel, I don't believe. I guess actually we may as well take fuel. Take fuel, look after tyres, and hope that obviously then we can try and have a quick stop right at the end of the stage. I think we're going to need fresh tyres anyway. But there we go then. So Brian Dorzak getting the free pass there. So only Greenfield now laps down in this race. But green flag right. Oh no! I had my wheel at 360 degrees. This race is going bad to worse for us then at the moment. as we've only got 3 laps left of this second stage, but could, by some miracle, we still recover to a decent spot there. Have we immediately done damage? Yeah, I've immediately done damage to the truck once again there as Clay Greenfield, like I said, obviously gets past us, but it's still 1 lap down. But, I mean, we are basically going to be foot to the floor until we get to the end of this stage. I know a lot of these drivers we should be quicker than. So Tony Brydinger there, rather wisely, I think, jumps out of the way. We'll give Norm Benning a bit of a push as well through 3 and 4. But we are just trying to find gaps there, and gaps we are finding as we will cut down the middle of Frankie Muniz and a couple of other drivers. There goes Jack Wood as well. And, well, how many places can we gain then? Oh, by the end of stage 1, Timmy Hill just giving me a little bit of a squeeze, so we will try and give him a bit of a push off the corner. There is Perez Delara, who I don't believe intentionally tried to wreck me. But I'll give him a nice big shove down the back stretch as well then. Always got time for the 77 truck there as well. Brandon Jones just tries to move down and thinks better of it once again. 2 laps, though, to the end of stage 2. And I was bang on in stage 1 that it was going to be, you know, the calm before the storm. So far tonight is 0-0. Oh, no, that was not where we wanted to be. Up in the wall once again, and that's going to cost us speed off of turn 1 and turn 2. We will just stay ahead there of the 44 of Curry. But yeah, Corey Heim still out front despite everything going on. Still leading the way here as the high side doesn't quite work like it did back at Texas, but we're still going to have to try it there as around the outside. Oh, Tanner Gray trying to give me a big old squeeze back towards the wall. White flag in the air, though, here at Kansas once again. And how many more spots can we gain? I mean, Crafton right there. It's just about trying to give ourselves decent track position ready for stage 3. Or as we're going to wash up right to the back of Jake Garcia there again in the wall. There's Grant Enfinger, I believe that was, just in front there, getting a little bit loose and lively through turn, on the exit, sorry, of turn 2. But as we make our way then through 3 and 4, completely flat out. Can we try and get a run on absolutely anybody? Added turn 4 there, get right up to the wall. But look at the slingshot to the inside of Crafton, but it doesn't matter. Stage is done and dusted there. We didn't even get past Garcia as well then, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, we're obviously going to take the damage. I think we're going to take everything, aren't we? We won't have enough fuel to get to the end anyway, so yeah, we're definitely not going to be able to do a Texas and try and stretch that, but everything getting serviced then on this truck, and what has been a rather wild night so far. Night has descended though, and we are back down to P20. As yeah, we have got a long final stage then in this race. We need to keep it clean and tidy through the opening couple of laps. But let's just see what we can do there, as I think it was just the repairs that obviously cost us a little bit of extra time relative to everybody else. Yeah, 22 laps worth of fuel though. We are not going to be able to stretch that towards the checkered flag, so we're just going to have to try and obviously just be sensible. Try and stretch the stint as far as sensibly possible, but not going to worry about risking it all too much as well. There is Brandon Drones. Don't feel like I've seen him much this season. I don't think he has normally been in that number 1 truck. Or is it just the fact that he's got a different sponsor this weekend? It's always something that's a bit confusing to an F1 fan, is obviously just how many different liveries or paint schemes all of the Truck Series drivers will use. But I think we're going to want to take tyres as well when I pit again, so we can afford to go uber aggressive towards the end of this stint. Kansas, yeah, it seems to be a real tyre killer tonight. Of course, didn't really learn that from doing the ARCA series here, as Grant Enfinger then going to try and give him a push around the outside in towards 3 and 4, right up towards the wall. And look at that Enfinger now, actually able to find the grip in that number 9 truck. Oh, it's all getting a little bit loose and lively. Those Kligerman just gets a bit sketchy off of turn 4. Still got Matt Crafton there on the inside, but I mean, yeah, we are just trying to push our way back through to where I want to be in this race. Ben Rhodes way at the racetrack as well. There is 3 wide just in front of us. As Crafton there, I think, was more than happy to try and door me off the exit of the turn. But, I mean, it's just a wall of Truck Series machines here just in front of us. Jake Garcia and a few battles with him so far tonight. But look at that then. I think Carl Busch now trying to apply some pressure to Corey Heim right up towards the front. And are we going to be able to try and move through there? Is there going to be a gap to the inside of Kligerman? Yes, there is. We've got to be brave. We've got to be ballsy at this stage of the night there. As Ben Rhodes, Stuart Friesen, will make the move down the middle of the pair from there. Again, luckily for us, Ben Rhodes spotting that and giving us the room, as we will try and get a slipstream off of Stuart Friesen as well then to the inside. Oh, don't want to get up on the apron there, as we will rush Friesen all the way up the road. I think they're 4 wide behind us as I'm getting squeezed once again. Oh, no, I think we're getting wrecked out. Are we going to hold on to it? We've held on to it, but Friesen hasn't. Spinning through the infield there, and Stuart Friesen in a world of hurt. I don't think we want to pit yet, though. I don't think we can't get to the end with how much fuel is left in the truck, or even if we topped it back up, we wouldn't be able to get to the end. So we're going to stay out here, and hopefully everybody has done the same. Yes, they have, but numerous cautions then here tonight from Kansas Speedway, and I think everybody now, you've kind of settled into the championship. You've had a few races where everybody's a bit friendly with each other, and now everybody is just starting to kick off. Everybody wants to get big results to try and help themselves towards the playoffs, and especially, obviously, if you're one of those drivers that, you know, doesn't think they're going to get a win between now and the end of the playoffs, or the start of the playoffs, sorry. You want to obviously be making sure you're picking up as many points as you possibly can there. As Friesen, come on, we need to push, buddy, down the backstretch. We have still got 17 laps worth of fuel, so we will be able to get close to the end of the stage. I mean, could you try and effectively go to the end of the stage and then pray that you can just limp round on the tyres towards the end of the race there and hope you'll lose less time? I'm not convinced that's going to be the way things work here, as again, you can see 3 wide just in front. I want to just get back inside the top 10 here. Feels like it's been a very long time since we've been in the top 10 in this race. As Raja Karut there, again, just trying to keep himself away from danger. And I am the danger inside this game, to quote Walter White, which I guess isn't really a NASCAR reference, but it is an American reference with Breaking Bad. No spoilers, though. I'm still only, I think, in Season 3. I'm watching it with Last 212. So please don't tell me what happens. Try and have a look then to get ourselves back inside that top 10. Daniel Hemrick, a very consistent driver inside this series, but yeah, not quite getting the big results that you really need still. It's all Grant Enfinger on the high side there. We'll try and give him a bit of a shove. I don't know who I'm working with at the moment. I think we're going to have to go with Enfinger, aren't we? Because we're going to carry a lot of speed down this back stretch. That's around the outside. Oh, with Hemrick. Will we get it slowed down through 3 and 4, though? Yes, we just about will. And everybody is, maybe the track temp beginning to fall off. There just seem to be a few more grooves that are working quite nicely at this stage of the night there. That Caden Honeycutt in that 45 truck there, just giving us a bit of a draft. I think Enfinger was a bit reluctant to really slot back in behind him. As again, I'm going to just glide down that wall, cost myself a bit of time. But there seems to be a big gap opening up behind. I think we've just got to mentally prepare ourselves now for green flag pit stops. Well, I think you are definitely going to want to take tyres when we come in for a pit stop in just a few laps' time. Not going to be many laps to go, but I still think it's going to be worth it with how much they've been shredded tonight there as down the inside of Honeycutt. I think he's just beginning to struggle a bit earlier than a lot of other runners at this stage of the night there. Still able to get a great run, though, off of turn 4 there as Grant Enfinger, I mean, Hemrick is just slowly inching away from our little group of cars as well, but yeah, it's going to be about a 12-13 lap blast right towards the end, and already, I mean, we're able to get the car right down to the apron, but I think that's as much because we're starting to lose some grip on the outside tyres there, and it's kind of sliding in through 1 and turn 2, but, I mean, I can't complain if it's working for us at the moment, as we're going to make another spot up, but yeah, there's a bit of a gap forming between Hemrick and Majeski, but I think if we can work with Hemrick here and try and get a bit closer, I mean, Corey Heim is not that far in front still. If none of the AI opt to take tyres, it could be a great gamble. There we go. We've got cars pitting. We've got trucks pitting. Sorry, I was to say Ty Majeski diving in there. So Heim's still staying out. I'm not going to try and risk the fuel or anything like that. But I am definitely going to try and stretch it just in case we get a caution. I mean, sometimes you'll end up getting one from people trying to get into the pit lane under green. Or I'm going to bring it out. If we keep getting moments like that there, as Hemrick, I think, just took some of the air off of the spoiler at the rear there, and we almost looped it around at turn 2 like we did earlier on in the night. Luckily then, obviously, we were able to keep it out the wall, but yeah, these tyres are definitely getting loosey-goosey, and I'm not sure I'd be able to hang on for another 15 laps here on this set of rubber, so this is definitely going to be the gamble that we're going to have to take, and it doesn't look like we're getting any cautions just out there. As well, Hemrick maybe a little bit spooked by one of those trucks heading back out of the pit lane. What position are we up to? We're up to P5 then, so I think we're going to dive in now and obviously request a pit. So we want half a can. I want... Oh, there you go. I always forget it's going to pause. We want... No, we don't want half a can. We want 1 can. We want 4... No! 4 tires there as it completely wrecked me! No! No, 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 no! I don't know if you guys saw that, but the wheel just completely ripped out of my hand. And that is going to change things up then. So we only need 1 can of fuel. We need 4 tires, though, and the repairs done. But this is not what I wanted late on in the night. And the second caution we've caused here at Kansas, I need to make sure we do that on the backstretch for future reference then. But Lane Riggs now up to the lead. So it has really helped all of those guys that have just pit. And Corey Heim now maybe in a little bit of trouble as well then, as we've only got a handful of laps left to go then in this race. 10 more. So, or 11 more, sorry, I should say. So let's see what we can do then. Could we see a new winner this season? As Lane Riggs now, a golden opportunity ahead of Corey Heim. Jake Garcia there as well, trying to get the jump on myself as we make our way down the backstretch. But come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We need to try and keep it all clean and tidy. Again, we have got grip though on these fresh tyres, and I would assume everybody's pit for fresh rubber. It's definitely worth it there. As Heim really getting swallowed up now. The Laiulu car there I can just see on his inside. There's 10 to go. Can we try and make a power move back inside the top 10 to the inside of Caruth? Cutting off Stuart Friesen there as best as possible through 1 and turn 2. And again, we have got the grip through 3 and 4 here. Lucky, you know, a massive thank you to the team, able to get all that damage squared away. As where was Ben Rhodes trying to push us down through 3 and 4 there. He got me down on the apron. And we had no choice to back out of that one. As yeah, Heim, he's down to about P4 here, so everybody else knows. Suddenly there is opportunity for a win in you're in, unless Corey Heim can do the impossible in these final few laps there. He can definitely, you know, he's definitely still in that fight at the front, but he's just on the outside line there and not really able to get involved. As Ben Rhodes again, really trying to give us a squeeze there. I don't think Ben Rhodes is too happy with us tonight. Maybe with a couple of cautions that we ended up causing, or just the fact, of course, that I am more than happy to try and force my way through in these Truck Series races there. And obviously Ben Rhodes, I think, is very much a journeyman in the Truck Series as well, getting a huge moment out of 3 and 4. That again is going to cost us a bag of momentum by the time we get into turn 1, as Honeycutt and Caruth there both trying to have a look around the outside. Can we hang on to the P9 spot we were in? We're going to wash up the racetrack right towards Honeycutt. Again, somehow getting away without damage there, but Honeycutt will get around the outside there. Caruth there, just getting a bit of a side draft and not able to do anything with it. Is all we almost get turned off the front end there. I think that was a Jake Garcia. But yeah, you can see the front runners now really beginning to spread out a little bit once more as Doring Caden Honeycutt out of turn 4. They're really trying to give him a big old squeeze by the time we get back in towards 1 and 2. But yeah, you can see Lane Riggs, though, still leading up at the front of the order there. I believe it's Larson, and I don't know who else it is there, just ahead of Corey Heim. But we are back up then into 9th. 4 laps to go then, and we finally regrouped and again the run on Ben Rhodes, hopefully once and for all. The 99 truck there has made my life rather difficult this evening, but you know, I'm not going to blame him for that. It's kind of his job as well. He's here to win, let's not forget. But we will finally make the move happen then, and maybe now just that slight advantage of the later pit stop working out well for us here. I mean, a top 10, you know, with the improved AI, everything like that, I'll be very happy with. But what it also goes to show is that when Corey Heim isn't out front, he can struggle to move his way back through the order, and that is important to know as we get towards the end of the season there. Lane Riggs desperately trying to run away with it at the front, as Heim now side by side with Kyle Larson for P2. But of course, if a caution came out now, I'm sure Lane Riggs would be begging on a caution right towards the end here. Can I get close enough to anything or try and do anything in these final 2 laps? Can Heim get close enough to Riggs here as he's made the move on Kyle Larson as well? He is really pushing. He wants to try and get win number 4 of the campaign. As we've seen before, it is just myself and Heim trading victories. But if Lane Riggs can take a victory here, it basically guarantees he's into the playoffs, doesn't it? As well, trying to make sure we keep it nice and tidy through 3 and 4. And we get a good run then on Enfinger. 1 more lap to go. White flag in the air here from Kansas Speedway. And what has been a rather dramatic evening of Truck Series racing. It has seen drama. It has seen chaos. It has seen wrecks. And just about everything else in between. It's not going to come down to fuel mileage tonight, though. It is going to come down to the timing of cautions, but Lane Riggs through turn 3 and turn 4, he's finished second so many times this campaign up to this point. Out of the final corner, Lane Riggs will punch his ticket into the playoffs there. He will win here at Kansas Speedway. Corey Heim follows him home in P2 ahead of Larson there. P8 for us. Honestly, with everything that happened, with the new AI, everything else, I am very, very happy to see it there. But yeah, I'm sure not as happy as at Lane Riggs and that front row motorsport team. Corey Heim, like we said in P2, Kyle Larson just ahead of Chandler Smith in that 38 truck there. Ankrum, Henrik, Enfinger, myself, Ben Rhodes, and Caden Honeycutt all inside your top 10 there. As I think most trucks, yeah, staying on the lead lap when all is said and done. I don't know what happened to Kyle Busch tonight, but he just disappeared at some point during the race there, so not ideal for him. The same for Ty Majeski, so I think it must have been during the pit cycle, wasn't it? Of course, the caution came out at completely the wrong time for those guys, so they got absolutely screwed over there. But even Clay Greenfield only one lap down come the checkered flag. That's kind of what you more want to see there, everybody being a bit more competitive. And there we go then, maybe not as much reputation as I would have wanted from this weekend. In fact, we actually met very few of our goals, which is a big, big issue here. So we have got to start thinking more and more about the sponsorship opportunities, because obviously there's no point getting a high-paying sponsor if you don't actually get the rewards there. Riggs' patience pays off after hours of relentless focus. Lane Riggs emerged victorious in the Heart of Healthcare 200 at Kansas. The driver of the number 34 controlled the tempo of the race, earning the checkered flag in a masterclass of pace management. Cody Dennison there, talking about my top 10. Thank you, buddy. Matt Beard there is going to make friends is with that type of driving, apparently from Grant Enfinger, so I guess we'll take it. Spencer Boyd, though, not so happy. Was the 94 texting and driving? That car was all over the place. Yes, I'm sure he's referring to stage 2. No, I wasn't texting and driving, but I was trying to commentate and drive, and I'd argue that's even worse. And there we go then, having a look. I don't think we're going to bag that many points from this weekend. Probably about 10th most points there. But $25,000, it could have been a whole lot worse had things not gone our way. But yeah, I'm sure the car has been absolutely beaten up from this weekend as well there. So obviously a lot of the work points that we're using are just getting eaten up right now. Luckily though, we do have a fully ready truck back for North Wilkesboro next weekend. I want to know, we got North Wilkesboro, Charlotte, and then Nashville. Oh, we got Pocono coming up. I'm looking forward to that one. Lime Rock as well. But are we ever going to Talladega inside this series? Oh, we've obviously got, yeah, the Roval as well. Then Talladega, and then Martinsville, and then, of course, the championship out in Phoenix there. So, yeah, I think, honestly, the round of 10 is going to be brutal inside this series. I like New Hampshire, but Bristol and Darlington are going to be horrible as well. So, a lot of races to look forward to in the upcoming weeks as well. Thank you all so much for watching. Like I said in the intro, if you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourselves subscribed. And we will be back very soon, ready out at North Wilkesboro.